Hello. I am going to start making some music here in a few minutes. Let me get this shared, spread it around a little bit. How do I share this? I don't even know how to share a live stream. Copy video URL. All right, I got my pal Bernie Sanders behind me, just chilling as usual. He looks cold. To make Bandcamp Friday release. Tweet. Okay. What do we have? Twitter, Facebook. I'll throw it on Discord too. Cool. That's all I'm gonna do. Nice. Okay. With that, I'm going to start getting set up. So let me switch views to where you can see Reaper. So I just realized today that Bandcamp Friday is happening again at the beginning of February. And let's just duplicate some tracks. I'll use 4 of these. Synth 2, synth, bass, synth, pad, synth. And yeah, I think I'm going to make another thing similar to my my Someone Else's Journey EP. And my idea there is that it'll be faster to put something together if I limit myself to only using default stock Reaper plugins. So that's what I'm going to do, starting with a little bit of sound design. So let's see what I've got going on here. I think I want to start with a pad this time, actually. So let's look at the pad synth. And whew. Something like that. That release is not 1600 milliseconds, is it? Whatever. All right, working for me so far. It's a little bit bass heavy, so I want to add a high pass filter. I like high pass filters a lot on pads because it leaves a lot of space for your leads to cut through and your bass to have some sense of grandeur and occupy the low end. So let's see what filters we have. I think this one's got a high pass mode. Yeah. I actually kind of like that on an LFO. I'm going to parameter modulate that. Using an LFO and reduce the strength significantly. It's kind of cool. Okay, I think that's a cool starting point. I actually kind of want another filter that's doing the same thing with a square wave. I was imagining to myself like a sort of a weird like CS80 kind of square wave sound. CS80 is the famous Blade Runner synth if you're not familiar with it. So I'm going to try adding another filter and seeing if I can do something with that. Hey, what's up? Good to see you in the chat. I am, like I said at the beginning, I think you weren't here yet, but I decided I'm going to make a Bandcamp Friday release because I already had one song ready from a previous live stream, and I decided I would do another thing with just stock plugins. So here I am. Let's parameter modulate this as well on an LFO in a square wave. Holy shit. What did I do? Full strength. It's gnarly. Wow. That was a little bit intense. Maybe if it's high pass. A little bit much, I think. Yeah, I was thinking Dungeon Synth for this, and this is definitely not working out as Dungeon Synth. Going back to my other sound. Bagpipe or hurdy-gurdy sound. This one I've already sort of committed to doing stock plugins only, so that will be really hard to get like a bagpipe or hurdy-gurdy sound, but I could try to get something sort of like it. With bagpipes, I actually think of it as having a little bit more to do with the note choice and the act of playing a diatonic melody alongside a drone. So I can probably get something like that with a square wave. I'll try doing a bagpipe for this track, but as a starting point, I already committed to starting with a pad. So here we go. Let's pick some chords. Well, that's sometimes something cool comes out. I think that's actually pretty exciting. I like this, and I'm going to quantize it to a 30-second note grid, apparently. Actually, I'm going to quantize it again to a reasonable size grid. And let's see how that feels as a starting point. I think I want it a little bit faster, so let's take the tempo up to, let's just go 140, see how that feels. And then hopefully that sort of loops. It loops okay. Let's just do that for now. And I will create a bass synth next so that we can get a that sort of bagpipe vibe. If I can. I don't know if I can do that with resynth, but let's find out. Oh, that's brutal. Okay, that's feeling good. It's right, the note I'm choosing is right under the mic, so maybe I'll draw this part in. That way I don't ruin everyone's day. Ooh. Wow, that's beefy. Sure, that's our drone. Okay. And for these chords, I'm going to copy this up so I can see what the chords are in here. And I'm doing that so that I can choose my bass notes. This is a D minor chord. Has D, F, and A. So I'm going to choose a very low D. That might be too low. Let's see how it feels. Whoa. It's beefy. This one's some kind of a B flat. Let's call it B flat something. This is an F sharp chord, just F sharp major. And then this last one's an F chord. Okay, that's our chord progression at the beginning. And I'm thinking that if this transitions into a sort of bagpipey part, that might be kind of cool. So pivoting over here to annoying square wave with pretty narrow pulse. That usually feels a little bit more like a reed when you have a narrow pulse width on your squares. To get a bagpipe to work, you blow into it and blow some air into it. So it's that's a really fast attack, doesn't it? With no sustained volume. Okay. And it's got that inconsistent airflow. So as a starting point, I think I'm going to modulate the pulse width with a parameter modulation. Very low strength. It's kind of cool. And I'll put a filter on here. Let's do this one's cool. Good enough for me. Let's go in here and make a melody. The other thing that happens with bagpipe style instruments, it's almost like a recorder. So you lift your fingers and put them down, and you get these sort of quick trills that sound really good and are stylistically appropriate for the instrument. And good players seem to use that type of. So I'll put a few of these little ornaments in. Kind of an annoying sound, isn't it? Getting the job done though. This stuff's really loud, isn't it? I'm gonna pull the volume back on all of these a little bit. I could deal with that lasting a little bit longer, I think. And maybe giving it a little bit more motion. What's that famous bagpipe song? Something like that, I think. I'm gonna see if I can give it sort of that type of vibe. And I'm going to give it a minor key feel. Oh, no worries. That's when I go on live stream, it's usually because I don't want to think of ideas for myself. I'm not really digging this at the moment. I feel like it's missing a few things that are actually sort of bothering me when I listen back to it. And one of them is reverb. I think it really needs, it's just a horribly dry sound. So I'm going to go in here and call this track reverb. I'll use reverb so that I keep using just stock plugins with just stock everything else. Dry, wet. Let's do that. And this go here. And the pad's going to want to go there too, to some extent. I will not put cowbell on this. This also wants vibrato, I've decided. So my fine tune here is going to get its own LFO. And I'm going to go sine wave and very, very low strength. Center, center. That was really funny. Okay. It's a little bit more like it. I'm going to give this a drunken wobble too, though, actually. Now that I'm hearing that, I want like a drunken wobble on the tuning of this synthesizer for the pad. Okay, let's go centered again, and still very, very low strength, but this one I'm actually going to go slow with the speed on it. Let's see how this feels. Ho, ho, ho. I want chorus too. Oh, not on the reverb though. On this pad. Yeah, that's cool. I'm actually liking that a lot now. This needs to just last a little bit longer. You know what needs to happen? This needs to be started as an improvisation. Who am I kidding? I'm just going to put a long, long pedal tone and I'm going to to just improvise over it a little bit and take my favorite pieces of it. That was pretty much exactly what I wanted. It took way less time. I need to fix all the notes. Because this is not a mono synth, actually, the overlaps are going to be a huge problem if I'm trying to recreate the sound of a monophonic instrument like a bagpipe. So quantize and just go through and remove the overlaps. So these overlaps, you hear how they create kind of awkward sounds. See what happens. If I go there, I'm actually going to leave some of those rhythm problems. I think they might add a little bit of character. Also, no one's commented on Bernie. You see him back there? He's like right there in the background. I don't know which side. I think he's over there. I thought I was being really clever. That actually took like it took longer than I'm comfortable admitting to get Bernie in the background. The things we do for memes and money. Am I right? Oh my god, did I really play for this long? Last time I ever played notes. Jesus. Okay, good. I just want to feel appreciated over here, man. Clog the chat that's currently just you. Oh. One day I'll be a famous YouTuber. And I'll wish you were clogging the chat. It's probably not true. I hope I don't know, inherit a cranberry bog before becoming a famous YouTuber. Water break while I listen to this. A couple of those are just really not convincing. Is that overlap? I thought I killed the overlaps. Oh, I missed one. It's in an awkward spot too, isn't it? I just want to get these lined up proper. That one's a little bit late, isn't it? I think that should go like here. I'm going to give the synth one a little bit of release, I think. Of course, I give it like way too much. It just clicked somewhere. What happened here? I will never know. These, I think, need to take up this whole space and be relatively rhythmically succinct. And that one needs to be over here. But again, I think I want it to be a little bit more on the time. Yeah, let's just put these on the grid. You know what? I quantized this to 30-second notes, didn't I? I'm going to put this on an 8-note grid now. There's your bagpipe. Is that too conspicuous? I think that's actually about the right amount of conspicuous. It's like a compliment to bagpipes. That last note was too long. Okay, nice. That's feeling pretty good. And I think what I'm going to do is bring back this sort of drunken warbly thing. So starting right there, I think I want to bring in chords again. And I'll just do 8 bars at a time. And I think that my pedal was on so it happens. That's kind of cool, but this thing seems really loud now, I think. And it's probably partially because... Wait, I'm not sending this to the reverb? Why? Yeah. Okay, that's sounding pretty neat. I'm going to just go ham with this and... Harmony City. A little bit more movement. let's see how this feels if I'm on the right track. I'm going to come in from a little earlier and see how I'm liking it. Harmony doesn't work. It's a stack of notes. I'm actually working on some videos on this subject because I disagree with a lot of the ways that music theory is taught. It's a good starting point for a lot of people, and for where a lot of people want to go with it. But it's basically just. I think the best thing for someone like you whose music I've heard, I think the safest thing for you to do is think of harmony as vertical stacks of notes, because you've got a good grasp on it, and your next step would just be learning what the things that you're already doing are called, so that when people want to collaborate with you, you can tell them oh, that's a G minor chord or something. But you've figured out harmony by ear, which most people tend to if they're self-taught musicians. And I guess the idea is that if you're in a specific key, all of those notes will sort of work in one way or another. And if you play a note that's out of your key, understanding what the assets and the potential repercussions of making that choice are. In this case, I am sort of working with this pedal G here. A pedal is when there's just one note that just lives in the song. It lives in the arrangement. In this case, it's just a low G. So I'm choosing notes that I think sound nice with G, and specifically with G minor, since I'm kind of leaning hard into just a straight up G minor with this melody. Basically the scale, and that's what I'm essentially working with. What's up, Wisdom? Just wanted to drop by real quick and say, oh, hi. This is that last thing, the one that I sent you, actually. This is going to be related to that, I've decided. There's a service called Bandcamp that's like a music self-publishing service that's doing their form of pandemic relief is foregoing their revenue share on the first Friday of every month. So I've been trying to make demos or EPs on first Fridays and realized I've got a first Friday coming up. So I am trying to get 4 or 5 songs done by that point. And we'll see if I succeed in that task. Okay, here's what I've got so far. I'm enjoying some of this sound design. Let's just... That's where I want that piece to end. My average time finishing one song it depends on the song. For something like this, where I'm trying to make something that sounds I guess, kind of like an old school video game or something, where I'm using a very limited palette of sounds. In this case, I'm only using preset sounds. Well, not preset sounds. I'm only using sort of the sound engine built into a Reaper, which is very, very limited. And for that, I mean, I'll finish a song in half an hour sometimes. I've been chatting and stuff and explaining what I'm doing as I go. So what am I? I'm 35 minutes into the live stream at this point. And I'm doing some stuff that's relatively complicated. And I would say that this type of melodic content where I'm trying to recreate the sound of like a reed instrument is like a bagpipe is a little bit out of my comfort zone, to be honest. So it's taking me a little bit of extra time. But yeah, I mean, for something like this or what I did on that last live stream, 30 to 60 minutes to make a song, and I'll come back to it a week later with fresh ears and decide if I agree with the decisions. And sometimes I'll go back and change everything, and sometimes I'll leave it almost exactly the way it is. But that extra come back when my ears are not thrashed by listening to the same thing over and over again is really important. And with something like, I mean, if you go on my channel and dig up some other stuff like Story from Another Time, that probably took 20 to 25 hours to make that one. And that's kind of a long piece of music. I think it's like 18 to 20 minutes. Some of the songs that I do for my bands, like vocal songs, getting vocals to feel good and feel like they're in the right spot in a song, takes me a little bit longer. So I'll spend anywhere from like 2 hours to like 100 hours. I don't like saying that out loud. It makes me feel uncomfortable knowing that I've spent that long on one thing before. But yeah, I'll spend like hundreds of hours on some projects, and whatever. If that's what it takes to make something I want to make, then so be it. Okay. I want to bring back this part without it sounding weird. Does that work? No, it doesn't. It feels like it ends right there. And I want it to just be a pause, actually. That's a weird bass sound. Oh yeah, it's like, I'm not saying that half an hour is how long it takes to make a good one. But yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. At some point I just realized that if I wasn't just like making like a song as like a warm up almost like every day, I wasn't really getting better at it. So I spent some time throwing my perfectionism out the window and working on being able to do stuff like this that I consider to be more of a sketch. I feel like I'm sketching right now rather than making a masterpiece. This isn't going to be a masterpiece, but it's important to do it. And I think it's important to share sketches with people on some level, because it lets you know like how you feel about your sketches and lets you know which parts you like. So if I show this to somebody, I'll be like, this sounds kind of cool to me. I like this pause here. Right in this spot, I'm going to place a marker where the pause is so you can see. Like, I think that sounds pretty cool. So you get ideas from sketches, and at some point I just started publishing them and even selling the ones that I thought were good. You can like figure out exactly which music I think is good because I put it up for free if it's not my favorite. If I really like it, I'll sell an album for like $7 to $10, and if I sort of like it, I'll sell it for $4. And if I think it's like this was for me to practice, I'll put it up for like free or $1 or something like that. So you can identify which ones I like And I mean, what I like is not what everyone else likes, and people tell me I should just sell all of it for the same amount, but whatever. You got to give some things away for free. Let's see here. I think that I want something else to come in right here. There's this gap in the arrangement. I want that to be the entrance of a new instrument. And I want this one to be like a pluck. And let's do a sawtooth. It's really like a filtered sawtooth pluck. And I'm going to do this with a filter in this EQ, and I'm going to parameter modulation with this one, yeah. So the audio controller sidechain, that's basically taking the amplitude of the sound that you send it. In this case, I'm going to select channels 1 and 2. There's no other real options here, but there would be if I sent audio to this track. So I'm not routing any audio to the track, so I have to choose this track's audio. And essentially what's going to happen is whatever audio exists in this space here is going to get sent to my sidechain, and it's going to check the amplitude and modulate whatever parameter I feed it. In this case, that parameter 5 here, based on the amplitude. So my goal here is to get a plucking sound so that the amplitude starts really loud and gets quiet very fast. And that not only will affect the volume of the sound, but it will also affect the cutoff point of my filtering. So let's give it kind of like a boom kind of a sound, like almost like a plucked weirdo synth sound. So. I'm going to just do a little piece here. I'm just picking notes that are in the key, and I'm going to let this loop while I do some sound design. And if I really hate the part, I'll go back and change it. But at this point, I just want to get this parameter modulation and filtering really, really tuned to sound like what I want it to sound like, which is sort of like a cheesy plucked synth sound. I want to say real quick that 3 milliseconds on the attack parameter of an envelope is sort of my go-to when I essentially want 0 without the potential repercussions of actually starting something as soon as the sound starts. That can sometimes cause damage and distortion to the sound. So in certain instances where I don't trust what I'm using, I will choose 3 as sort of a replacement for 0 milliseconds. I'm going to go to a much lower number here as well. And the reason I'm choosing such a low amount of milliseconds as the attack time is because I want that filter to essentially start open as soon as it hears this synth. I want it to move the filter left. So without that, let me just show you the difference. That's pretty much what I want. And I'm going to send that to the reverb as well. It's pretty cool. It's silly and a little bit corny, but I said cheesy plucked string synth. So I think that's exactly what I described. And I'm going to take that rhythm and I'm going to clone the rhythm. I'm going to change the notes though. That third chord is a F sharp. So I'm going to start at the F sharp, I think. Let's do that. And again, I am going to keep that rhythm going, and I'll come back and probably end up changing some pieces of the rhythm based on how I'm feeling about it once I have the whole thing filled out. But first I'm just going to pick some notes that seem like they'll work with the chords. Here I'm just imagining an F sharp chord, so that's why I'm choosing such different notes. Let's hear this so far. Make sure I'm not way off base. That note here is, for some reason, this one note just feels like it's too low, and the other ones don't. And I didn't finish that, but I'm liking it. Okay, let's hear it again, see how it's feeling. And I wonder if that loops, because it would be really dandy if that looped nicely and I could bring in this other melody and combine all the parts. Ooh, it looks like it will. Yeah, I'm liking that idea a lot, and I will I'm going to start that synth a little early. Yeah, I want to start on that high note. So I do that sometimes. I don't really explain myself. I just want it to seem normal, because I think that everyone should just try singing notes against other notes to see if they can find one that they like. I think it's really helpful to just hum or sing. Maybe right there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to hear it from earlier. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. I'm wondering what it feels like from the beginning. I feel like these parts are quite disjunct. They're not matching each other terribly well, but and it's really like starting to pop off over here a little after 1 minute, and I'm worried that a little after 1 minute might be too late. Might be a track skip if I don't put something that'll hook you in earlier. So I'm gonna listen to it from the beginning and see if I can give myself honest feedback. Feel Good Inc. That's Gorillaz, right? I'm trying to remember which one that is. I love Gorillaz, but I don't know their music very well. They're one of those bands that's good enough that I'll put an album on, and I won't think to skip tracks. So I don't know what any of their songs are called other than whatever like that one huge hit was in the 90s or early 2000s, Clint Eastwood. I know that song by name. But yeah, I'm not sure which one Feel Good Inc. is. I'll have to look that one up. Well, right off the bat, it's giving me this is not track 1 of the album vibes. That was bothering me, that entrance, but I think I fixed it. Okay, this can keep going for a while and start being kind of a build-up. I'm gonna record. What key am I in? I'm gonna just try stuff, and I can just change the notes later. I have this idea that this build-up is leading to sort of a solo, almost not a solo, but like a let's do some more notes kind of a section. So I'm gonna just try that and see if anything happens that's cool. Is that the note? Okay. I'm not really feeling the groove at all. I am thinking about cheating. Let's go ahead and this is sort of a weird trick, and I don't see people use it that often, but I do see people use it. This is gonna blow your mind. What I'm doing here is I'm creating a drum beat. And this drum plugin sounds like garbage, but I promised only stock plugins, so here we are. Transient controller. I'm going to make it really snappy. This is not staying. Like I said, I'm having a little bit of trouble feeling the groove in this next section, and I'm not sure what to play. And I kind of want it to, the groove to be implied, but not exist in the melody or in any of the instruments really. So I'm going to put this in and record to it instead of to a click track. And I think I'm going to take this out afterward. And this is more common than you think it is, recording to a drum machine instead of to a click, but here we are. And it's, yeah. That was the first time I've ever used the pitch wheel on my on my MIDI controller. There's something about having this thing, which is like probably like one of the most like to die for synthesizers to do that kind of melodic content, and then using resynth with Reaper's simulation of literally this hardware filter when it's sitting next to me, and when I would rather be using that. It's just the funniest thing in the world. But I promised stock plugins only, and here we are. So let's see what that feels like. I hate it so far. What if it's good with the drums? It's actually kind of good with the drums. I might leave the drums in. Sorry. Sorry, mom and dad. Let's just do that. And I can't handle the drums sounding the way they do, so I'm going to make tracks for the kick and the snare, which is what I'm using. And we're going to route. Oh, God. This drum plugin's a pain to do this with. Let's see here. I need to do more outs. So this is the pin connector. This is really horrible. And basically what's going to happen is that we're sending a different instrument out. So kick's going to 1, snares to 2. The other 2 I'm not using, so I didn't need to do that actually. So kicks to 1, snares to 2. Kick is audio 1 to 1 2, and snare is audio 2 to 1 2. If those are pre-fader and this is muted, why is it still coming out here? That's bothering me. I guess that can just kill the master. Cool, okay. So now I've got a separated track for my kick and my snare. This transient controller can be somewhere else. Oh, I already had it up. Transient controller. This is the best plugin that's in Reaper. It's like the most underrated stock plugin. Just make everything snap. And I'll categorize this as something other than Dungeon Synth, I guess, right? How long have I been doing that? I've been an hour. I really don't like keeping these things over an hour. I feel like nobody will watch them at that point. I'm going to do one listen through this, and I'll just stop for tonight, I think, because this doesn't quite feel done yet, but it's kind of cool. I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's a neat song. So let's just hear how it sounds right now. You know what? I lied. Let's just do gluing those together with Control-Shift-G. Grabbing all the top voices and middle voices. You know, I don't want those. And I'm going to essentially just arpeggiate these chords a little bit. Because this is the plucked sound. So the top voice goes to the right a little bit further. Why is that middle voice not there? Okay, something like that. And then this one needs to be fixed. And then these, I realized, don't need that at all. Nice. Okay, I'm feeling like this might be cool. The sustain level on this synth is 0, so it's just going to be a little pluck along with each one. Yeah. I love it. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. It's like a hip hop sound. Fixing my solo. Okay. I think that I'm relatively happy with that actually at this point. This one's going to be one of the songs that takes a bit longer, but that's okay. That just means I'll have more stuff to do on live streams. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching, Bernie, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for checking this out, and let me know if you have any questions or requests.